this situation, we're gonna speak specifically to this, is different because you're not just fucking up one person, you're fucking up multiple people, and it's not just us hearing it, it's people in Orlando hearing it. So that means that your character around every other person that you're around knows you to be that person, which means I don't need your redemption. I don't need you to be around me. I don't need you to forget. Whatever you're going through, you've burned that bridge.
Just wanna see you on me. I just wanna see you on me. Put it on me, babe. Put it on me. Put it on me, babe. Put it on me. Loving on your body all day.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Jay. That's
Your boy Trey was popping.
and welcome to the Fupas and Flapjacks podcast on here on the Erosion Media Network. Sorry I got choked up, but today's another special episode. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest for this episode is usually, you can hear his voice, but you can't see him. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the voice of God, the podcast, Dr. Phil. Yeah! He's on camera. Yeah. He's on camera.
I'm here.
Phil, how you doing, man?
Life is good, man. It's good to be on this side of the wall.
Visible.
Yes.
Our Lord Jesus in flesh.
This is going to be fun. So a lot of you guys are probably wondering, why the hell is Phil in front of the camera? Why the hell is Phil the guest for the episode? Because he doesn't technically count as a guest. But he does for this episode. Also, I know a lot of y'all are going to say this because me and Trey just talked about it off camera. Y'all going to be like, oh, I thought you guys only have women as guests. He's a black man. And also, he's always here. So,
Yeah, he's always here. So,
technically, you guys are probably thinking he's not technically a guest. Yeah. But he is still a part of the Fupas and Flapjacks family. So, this episode is a little tough one. You want to introduce the episode?
No new friends. No new friends. No new friends. No new.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this episode, the topic and the trending topic for this entire episode is bad friends / fake friends and how to handle it. Do you want to start? Or do you want me to just introduce
Let me say this. I'm gonna get this
Go
out.
ahead.
Me and Jay have been talking about this topic for the last 3 or 4 days.
Yes, we
And
have.
I will have to say, as much as I want to turn up, and this is me holding myself accountable, as a man who believes in God and a follower of Christ and everything, I have been, told to turn the other cheek in this situation. As much as I don't want to, and as much as I want to be as petty as possible, I'm going to hold my cheek in, and I'm going to talk very as
big as possible,
basic as possible about whatever we talk about. But just knowing my heart of hearts, if I could turn up right now, I would turn up right now.
That's you. Listen, I live by one motto. When they go low, I go to hell. So, Phil,
I'm with you here.
thank you, Phil.
That's cool.
When
Y'all can live with that?
Yeah, when they
But
go
told me
low,
something different, so I'm gonna do
I
something
go to
different.
hell.
Okay.
Well, you know why it's a little different for me.
Well, it's not just different for you because I found out stuff about me last minute.
Oh, I'm talking about the.
Right, but I'm telling you something that now it affects me personally as well too. Because now
Secrets.
it's
Secrets.
Sorry, Phil. We're gonna fill you in. So Phil.
Phil is low-key a part of it too because he know about it.
He know about it.
Yeah.
So Phil, how do you manage bad friends is one thing, but a fake friend?
A fake friend?
Like, how do you manage? Like, how do you? Here's the better question. How do you recognize the traits of a fake friend?
Oh, it's actually easier for me now because I provide a service. So
Fair enough.
I can kind of screen who really has my best interests versus people who just want to use me.
Right.
That's really, really easy now because I have a business and a service.
Yep.
Before, it was a lot harder because I was just a happy-go-lucky, positive. Everybody loves me.
Right.
I don't do anything wrong. I'm cool. Everybody likes me. And I got burned several times.
Wow.
Just
okay.
just being used and being taken advantage of, and learning about people talking behind my back and all this other stuff. And now as I'm getting close to 40, I realize that fuck new people.
I feel it.
FTK, fucking kids.
No, really, because I feel like the circle that I have, albeit small, those people know pretty much everything about me, all the positives that I have in my life, all the negatives I have in my life, and they actually add something of value to my life versus people who just take from me.
Right,
And there's so many
right,
people out
right,
there,
right.
especially that I have a business that just want to take or use what I have for their gain, and not try to pay it forward.
Yeah.
Or not try to help benefit me at that either. So it's weird.
How about you, Trey? How do you peep those traits?
I would say this, right? I've never been good at keeping friends since I was in middle school.
This is true.
I've never been good at keeping a friendship. I've never trusted people enough to really let them in like that. It was hard for me and you to be friends at first.
This is true.
So,
by the way, for those who don't know, Trey thought I was gay when he first met me.
I did. And I thought you were trying to hit on me.
Yes, Trey
real?
thought
Yeah.
I was shooting my shot at him when we first met.
We were coworkers at Vans.
Yeah.
And I used to be a manager there, but I quit, left somewhere else, and I came back as an associate. And then he was a manager there. And I would just catch bro like just staring at me and stuff from across the room and everything. And two things popped in my head: either he was gay or just being weird. And I was like, bro, like,
You confronted him?
no, I didn't. I didn't talk to him. But they all invited me out to like a hangout, like as a coworkers and everything. And then he's like, I asked him straight up, like in the moment, like, hey bro, like you gay? He was like, nah, bro. I was like, oh, I thought you were, like, cause you used to be staring, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, it's okay for you to be gay, but just have a conversation and we can just chop it up and be like, nah, that's not what's going on.
How'd you feel about that, Jay, when he said that to you?
Is that the first person? You won't be the last.
What, he wasn't the first?
He was the first person that thought I was gay.
Oh.
I'm gonna be real with you.
You didn't like punch him in the face? Be like, see?
Nah.
Nigga,
I
I'm
was
gay?
disrespectful though.
Okay.
I was disrespectful
No,
though. Like,
he wasn't out of pocket.
yeah. Because I don't have an issue with that. It's just
Yeah.
like I set my boundaries of where they're at, and then like you can kind of fall where you want. But for me, it's like as far as like it takes me a while to trust people and put them in a place where, because I'm loyal to a fault. And I know that once I give you my trust and once you ask me to do something, I'll go out of my way no matter the time, the day, or whatever to go do something for someone that's not, I don't even really want to do it. But because you're my friend and I care about you and I respect and I honor our relationship, I'll go and do it. So for me, like friendship to me is a very like serious thing. And on my fingers, I can count under 5 people that I can consider a genuine friend who like, I know like, who has my back no matter what the situation is.
I consider Jay one of my good friends. Yeah, one of my good friends. I mean,
Appreciate you.
I'm bringing him along in one of my other businesses. You know, what I mean? So he's going to be another vital part of that. I have this mantra that although I am a very nice person, right, and if I can tell a person is trying to use me, everybody gets one. You know,
you get a chance.
Everybody gets one, right? And then once you've used that goodwill, you don't get it again.
Yeah.
You know, so like somebody wants to borrow money or whatever, sure, here you go. I know I ain't getting it back, but don't ever ask me again.
I mean, realest thing I ever heard. You ever seen the movie Bronx Tale? With
Bronx Tale?
Yeah.
With
I forgot this dude's name, bro.
Christopher Walken?
He looks like Christopher Walken, but he's not Christopher Walken. I forgot his name.
Ray Liotta?
I mean, Robert De Niro's in the movie though.
Okay.
But there's a scene where the kid in the movie is chasing another teenager down the street. Owes him like $20. He goes, what you chasing him for? It only cost you $20 to get rid of him out of your life. That's how I feel about fake friends.
That is so true.
It only costs you $20 to get him out of your life forever because he's always going to run away from you.
Would you ever co-sign for a friend?
Co-sign?
Co-sign a loan.
Nah.
No matter how close you are,
crazy.
you never do it.
I love you, but I wouldn't co-sign for you, bro. Nah, that's business.
I'm good. You've done that before.
As your friend, I would help you build your credit though.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
I wouldn't
But I'm
co-sign.
not going to co-sign a car or a house, or whatever the case is for you.
Okay.
I had friends who have done like the renter center loans or whatever the case is, and they'd be calling my phone up.
Would you have a friend live with you?
I've had that before.
Oh, okay.
I've been that friend.
And I ended that friendship
Yeah.
because I realized how much of a piece of shit the person was.
Yeah.
I realized why you got out of your other housing situation
Uh-huh.
and you had to come to me for help. Like it made me realize within a month. Yeah.
I was that friend, not because of a bad situation. It's just that was just the situation I was in.
Would you let a friend borrow your car?
Yes, absolutely.
But like all the time?
Depends. One of my friends. So I'm a car guy, right?
Yeah.
And back in Virginia, I had this souped up Mustang. It had a lot of stuff to it.
Shelby or no?
It was a. Oh my gosh, my mind's going blank. It was not a Cobra, not the Steeda. It was a Bullet. Sorry, it was a Bullet.
Got you. Yeah.
Had a lot of stuff done to it. And my friend, I'm gonna call you out, Jeff.
Oh shit.
My friend, I let him drive it because they were all into Civics and shit, so they were all slow. So I let him drive it. He blew my clutch out. Right, destroyed it, completely shredded it.
Shit.
Completely shredded it. And I wasn't pissed. I was like, yo, what? You can't handle this, you know what I'm saying? But I should have been mad because he was trying to say there was something wrong with the car. I was like, there was nothing wrong with the car. It was a driver error.
Yeah, like, my nigga, you fucked it up.
Yeah. But I don't think I have a problem with a friend driving my car, especially if it's helping them, whether it's like go to work or if my car is just sitting there, sure. But if it's like if you're using it and you're doing stupid shit in it, or you're not putting gas in it, you know what I'm saying? Or you leaving it super dirty, then that's an issue. But I also have multiple cars too, so
we're not laughing at you, by the way. No, I promise you, we're not laughing at you. Yes.
I know y'all have got some inside story
no, because I can't say it.
You're the one who want to go to hell.
I want to go to hell, but I'm trying to be. I'm still trying to be professional because it's still my job.
So you got a friend who borrows your car?
Oh hell no.
You got a friend who borrows your car?
No, we have a friend who
borrows.
We have
a friend that borrows. No, we have a woman who borrows a friend's car.
Is that friend a male?
Yes.
No, it's a woman.
A woman borrowing another woman's car?
Yeah, she gets kind of Amber Rose.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about then. And Jay's dead.
This nigga.
Make sure you had a sound effect there, Jay.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, but about that friend. So that was weird. What I was gonna say to follow up, I was expecting Trey to say that shit, but what is like the boundary that you use to kind of be like, okay, like now I'm being used, if that makes sense. You know how you say one chance, right?
Everybody gets one.
So after that one chance?
When I realize that I'm being used, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. If it's something genuine, like, hey, you're in a financial spot because something unexpected happened.
Right.
And I know you're the type of person that's not going to happen again, or if something legitimately happened to you, and then it happened again, then of course that's out of our control, and I have the means to help. But if it's something stupid like you just forgot to pay a bill because you went out to the club or something, yeah. And the way I pick my friends, they aren't those type of people. They're not those type of people anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're responsible adults. Yeah, you know, Caleb's one of my best friends. He's almost 50. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Caleb's almost 50.
Yes.
No, seriously, like that nigga don't look over 40.
No, he look young.
Like, he don't look over 40. That's what should call me off guard.
Yeah. He's Filipino. That's that Filipino blood.
Yeah, that's Filipino blood.
Yeah, so it's like they've already passed that threshold of irresponsibility.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And so the people I hang around with aren't those like people anymore.
Yeah.
So it's I like the small circle I'm in.
That makes sense. Trey, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
So I mean, both of you guys can answer this question. So can I. And we kind of asked this question with Miriam a couple weeks ago. How do you navigate when it comes to creating content? Like, who's a content friend and who's an actual friend? Because those two obviously different boxes.
Okay, so I think that a content friend, right, is someone that, you know, is not necessarily someone that I would hang out with outside, but also brings value to the content.
Okay.
That means you come with your own ideas, you come with your own thoughts, you come with something to the table that values both of us as content creators. You're
not just trying to piggyback.
I think that anyone who is in the content space but doesn't create their own content is a leech. So in my mind, I don't consider that to be a content friend. Content, when you say friend, it's beneficial. It's I give, you give, we're giving to each other. So that's my space for content friends.
Yeah.
Outside of that, and let me get it twisted. There are some content friends that have somewhat navigate to the friendship area. Like they're kind of in there. I wouldn't call it complete friendship because I think complete friendship is when I'm able to be vulnerable with you and talk to you on a regular basis and have the conversations. But there are people in my content friend group that I'm able to hang out with on the outside who I can consider as friends, but not really like my friend. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you are my friend.
Your friend.
But I feel like anyone in either of those spaces, they're beneficial to each other, which means is I can rely on you regardless of what it is. If you're my content friend, I can rely that you're going to come with something. I'm going to come with something. We're going to come with ideas. We're going to create something special. Yeah. You know, or if you're my friend, I can trust you emotionally or whatever the case may be, or talk to you about whatever goes in my life.
Do you keep them separate?
No, there's a mix because we bring up Miriam like we did. Miriam is like, you know, I met her like 3 years ago, and she's become someone who's like a confidant, like a friend. But if you're someone that like I said, like if you're someone that doesn't come with ideas or come with anything, you're a leech, and I don't see you as a content friend. Or if you're someone that like you're always asking me for something and it's a regular friendship, then you're never providing something to my friendship. It's always you taking, and never giving. Then that to me is not a friendship. You're a leech in that place too.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. For me, I want to say instead of content, I'm going to use the word creative.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So I have a lot of creative friends, and I love mixing with those people. But I do have to keep it separate than like my other friends, because sometimes I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to be at home, scratch my balls, play PlayStation. Yeah. You know, and I have friends that fit those roles too, that can take me away from this mental space.
Yep.
And I like that. But then sometimes, majority of the time, I'm in this zone, and I like to surround myself with creative people.
Yeah.
Who are like that, because we kind of speak and think on the same frequencies, and we vibe and we elevate each other. And I do like to keep them separate, because I think it's a bad trait for me, but I feel that because I come from TV and radio, people see a different version of me, or people's idea of me is different than what I actually am sometimes.
Okay.
Because they always from how they digested me was this version of me, and then that's their thought of me always. Yeah. And I'm not always like that. You see me pretty low sometimes. And
literally after we get done recording, your whole demeanor is like,
yeah.
Chill.
And then sometimes you see me really high, and then sometimes you see me really low. So some of my people that I do content with only see that version of Phil.
Okay. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because that's who they know me as. But my other friends who know me outside of that world, they know
the real,
all of me.
Yeah.
You know, so I do like to keep that a little separate.
Like,
what about you?
I'll be real with you. Now it's easy.
Okay.
Because I know who I was before the popularity, the clout, or whatever it is with this content game. One thing I will say is, you know how they always say that a lot of these child actors lose themselves because they grew up in the industry, and it's better for you to know yourself as a adult man, woman, whatever you might identify as before you get the fame. I see it firsthand now with myself. Prime example. We always crack jokes about the girls in my DMs because of the show, or because of serious sarcasm, right? I see it every week, maybe every other week, where someone will DM me like, "Hey man, long time no see, blah 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 blah." I'm like, "You only saying that, bro? You little do you know, I got the notification that you just like a podcast clip or like 3 podcast clips. Now you DMing me, or you found my Instagram after like 8 years of not speaking to me.
Yeah,
I know what it is.
That's gonna blow your mind though. Wait till you're 10 years in, right?
Yeah,
you're gonna have people coming up to you that know your life. They never met you.
Oh yeah.
So when they come up to you, they'll start to tell you things that you forgot that you've even said, and then they're kind of personal. You're like, how the fuck you know that?
Yep.
But don't even realize you said that 4 years ago
on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
And because people are living your life with you, because they're experiencing it with you. And I didn't realize I did that for so many years until people were coming up to me, talk to me about Dominic. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Who are you? You know, and then like, well, you were talking about us on the radio. I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah.
I had a girl last week. Slid in my DMs, was like, I would never treat you like that first kiss girl. I was like, wait a minute, didn't I just fucking say that shit on the podcast?
Yeah.
The chick, the chick about the first kiss. I was like, didn't I just say that on the? I was like, yo,
wait till you're 200 episodes in. I'm telling you,
Jesus Christ.
And I think the point is also like the benefits of friendship in navigating fake friends is like, who do you let get in the middle of your friendship? Me and you, when we've talked about like dating girls.
Yeah.
We'd never let a woman come in between our friendship before. For instance, like even the girl I'm talking to, right? Like I'm getting to know, like I know I'm getting to know some women. There's a girl that we talked about, and I communicated to her. I was like, "Hey, just want to let you know that you talked to my homeboy too. So I want to hear."
She didn't really talk to me,
right? Y'all Usher R. Kelly did,
right?
No, she didn't really talk to me.
But I said, right. That's what I'm saying. But the story that all got cleared up.
Yeah.
Because my communication to her was, that's my homeboy.
Yeah.
So no one's going to come in between a relationship of me and my friend. So for me, when I see people who let other people get in between friendships, that's fake as fuck to me.
Yeah.
When I see stuff like that, because at the end of the day, when you got someone that you're supposed to be riding for, you don't let people break that up. Especially
if you have the chance, especially if you have a strong enough bond, or you perceive that you have a strong enough bond to just hash it out like adults.
Yeah.
Like,
to talk.
Like if I have an issue, like if something happened between me and Phil, I'm not gonna let a third party try to play
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
play us. Like, I'm gonna be like, yo, Phil, can I talk to you one-on-one about something? Blah, 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 blah. Yo, Trey, can I talk to you one-on-one about something?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
But a lot of people don't have that skill.
No, they don't.
Because they're scared.
Especially, well, that, and they don't know how to talk.
Yeah.
Or handle conflict.
I think handle conflict, but also take responsibility.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think that's the biggest thing about a lot of people who are bad friends or fake friends. Like, it could be as simple as just forgetting the time you're meeting for dinner or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I overslept. I messed up. I didn't put an alarm. It's always, oh man, traffic, man, it was crazy. And, you know, this and this.
Excuses.
It's like, bro, like you overslept. It's cool. It's not a big deal. But those are little traits that you'll see that grow into something bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where you're like, okay, some big fallout happened. Now I'm like, I understand why I should have saw the signs like a long time ago. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When do you know when to break it off? Break a friendship off?
Damn. For me, I'm quick to cut anybody off. Like he's seen it firsthand. I'll cut somebody off because they side the wrong way. They just the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
Have you had any deep connections that you had to end?
Yeah. I'm gonna get real personal for a second. I had a core group of friends. This is right before I met Trey at Vans. Oh, it was around the time I met you at Vans, actually. I had a core group of friends. These four guys. Went to high school with them. We all played on the same high school football team. Two of us played on the high school basketball team together. I cut all of them off because when I was going through the darkest period of my life, when I was going through cancer, and I was obviously a new father, didn't know if I was gonna make it past. Because I also had COVID at the time when I found out I had cancer.
God damn.
Yeah, that 2020 was the worst year of my life, easily. But I was going through all of this while also raising a 1-year-old, my son Nazareth, and that 3 or 4 month stretch when I really was like really, really depressed. When it came to friendships, the only person that really checked on me that wasn't family, Trey. And at the time, Trey and I were just coworkers at the time. But these 4 guys were my core group of friends. They never checked up on me, never called me. I had just moved into a new apartment. They didn't even come to the crib to come check up on me or nothing. I had my surgery. My brother posted about my surgery. My co-parent posted about my surgery. They followed both of them. They even hit them up like, is Jay good? Like, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. And that's when I realized I had to cut them off.
Yeah, his story is crazy because we had a coworker between both of us. I used to work at Vans and A6. And I remember I was at A6 and one of my he was a supervisor, stock supervisor. I forget what his name was. He came to me and said, hey, yo, Jay's really going through it right now. And Jay didn't tell me what was going on, but he was like, man, he's really going through it. Like he needs somebody for real. And then when he told me that, I was like, man, what the fuck? Like, and instantly I'm like, all right, what's up? Like checking on him. Cause at the end of the day, I'm an empath. And if I care about you and I know you're going through something, you're not telling me, if you care about someone, you consider them a friend, you're going to check on them and making sure they're good. And so, that was crazy to me that like he was going through that in a more like deep, dark, lonely space that no one really was. But a coworker came to me, he's like, yeah, you need to go reach out to him. And I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. So like stuff is crazy.
You ever got any friendships to where nothing happened, you guys just grew apart?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah.
How y'all handle that? How do you realize that, we've grown apart?
Oh, I don't hear from you. You know what's crazy? This is why he's like my best friend. I have 2 best friends. Him and my boy Matt. They know I'm a low maintenance friend, which means, and some people like to say, that's an excuse for you don't like to work on your relationship. No, I just have so much going on in my life and things that are going on, and I'm an adult, so I'm living certain things and doing certain things that I focus on those things, and they know that I don't hate them or dislike them or don't care for them, and they don't just give up on me because I'm not reaching out on a regular basis. Whereas some people need that intense, consistent communication every single day. That's honestly too much for me because I'm not going to reach out to you like that every single day because I got a lot going on in my life. And he honestly realized that early in our friendship, and that's why we're literally still friends now, because I'm like,
you guys could not talk for 3 weeks and still be like,
exactly, like nothing, like nothing. Like my homeboy Matt, he moved to fucking Iowa.
Yeah,
I ain't talked to him in 2 months, and he'll hit me up, but like they'd be like, hey, what's up, bro? How's it going? And I'm like, dang, what's up, bro? What's popping? We'll talk for like hours just because like he understands who I am. He understands it's nothing against him. It's who I am as a person, what I do through life. So
I'm completely different.
Yeah.
I'm completely different.
He's completely different.
I'm like you.
Yeah.
And for me, it's the conversation.
Yeah.
Like if we're still talking about the same thing we were talking about 2-3 years ago, but let's say, how to explain it? Like, let's say, for example, we just had the Stephs on the show. Let's say I'm
Great
talking.
show, by the way.
Huh?
Great show, by the way.
Appreciate you. Let's say I'm speaking to Steph about like
Wait, which one?
black stuff, Haitian stuff. Let's say I'm talking to Haitian stuff about like business taxes, like stuff like that, like stuff that you and I speak about, right? Speak same thing, same type of stuff I talk about with Trey. But I have one friend we're still talking about, like the girl that you dated in high school that ended up getting pregnant and married now.
Oh, the Remember Wins?
Yeah, it's like if we always talking about remember wins, it's like yo, my life has grown, like I've grown. I said, and I'm gone from like that point in my life. There's no point of me staying here. Like if you're not willing to come with me, then you have to stay where you at. Yeah. Like what they call in elementary school, you got left back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the people who like play like high school football and basketball, and they won't let go of their glory days.
Yeah, they still
It's
got
like, bro, like
they still got the max prep profile.
let it
in their
go, bro. Like let it go.
Oh, man. I can't comment on that.
What?
I produced a show that's all about that.
Oh, I see. Yo, I've seen the show. They were here one night before we came in.
Oh, for
and I
real?
got here early, and I was just sitting there. I was like, oh, this is what they talk about. Like literally,
Let that
the whole
shit go,
show.
bro. Like it's the present. It's 2024, 25. 2025. Let that shit go. We're not in high school no more, man.
Flush that shit down, totally.
Yeah.
What about relationships with friendships with the other sex? Do you keep the friendship at the same level as, let's say, y'all's two with a woman?
With women, with women, I've noticed I'm very low maintenance with women.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna check up on you every day. Like we have a mutual friend. Like she was going through like a real tough time last year, like a real tough time. I reached out to her now and then, but I let her hit us up.
Yeah, I only called her once.
Yeah.
Just to like,
to check her mental.
feed into her and just pour into her and everything. And then like, if she wanted to reach out to me and talk to me, like just, she could have done the same thing. Like I'm like my phone was open for her at that time.
But do you give them the same version of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus your male friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually like it that we're that like what's the word? Not nonchalant.
Consistent?
Not consistent.
Non-invasive.
What's the word, bro? I can't keep talking. I forgot the word.
Yeah, I mean, for the situation like, right, I don't like to pry.
Yeah.
What you're gonna tell me is what you're gonna tell me.
Blunt. That's the word. Sorry.
Okay.
Like
like
we're
the
actually
word,
blunt
blunt.
with them. Like we're blunt with each other. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I am to a point. Just I think I connect more with men, obviously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a couple of female friends that I consider very, very good friends, and they've known me for going on 20 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I tell them more than I tell everybody.
Yeah.
I have a close relationship with them than I do with my wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm starting to get to a point.
it's not like that.
I'm starting to get to a point like where like when I was younger, I didn't believe you could be friends with women that you were attracted to or that you found attractive. And as I matured and grew up, I stopped being stopped thinking so freaked out.
Yep.
And I started to like, you mature and you grow up and you have friendships with women that are attractive and you don't have to do nothing between it. And I realized those friendships were very impactful and really, really good for me. I realized that a lot of my women friendships have been better than friendships with men. Just because of the fact that like, I feel like a lot of men that I've known are so stuck in the past or like have been so hurt by something in the past, they don't let shit go. And it's like, we're on like women do a really good job of like looking at what they need now and they want it now. Women have a innate desire of what they want and they want it now. Whereas men have this thing where they can sometimes be passive and kind of sit back and relax or kind of just like live in whatever and be like okay with what's currently going on right now. And so it's sometimes good to get some of that vibe from or motivation from women where it's like, go get it, go get it, go get it, go get it. Because sometimes they make you feel that way. And I think good women make you feel like.
Yeah, man. I think the relationships that I have with my women friends, I'm not trying to smash or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think that they're more genuine because I think they're more comfortable because they know that I'm not trying to, there's no ulterior motives
Right.
with any of that. And so I do cherish the relationships I have with women.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, when it comes to friendships, like, if you're betrayed, how do you handle that betrayal? Like, is there a conversation or you just cut them off right off rip?
I cut people off without a word.
Like ghosting them?
Yeah, not a word. Because at the end of the day, I feel like
Yeah.
you know, there's nothing to really talk about. Like that's even I've done it in some relationships before. Like like we like there's nothing to really have it. Like I'll be like, we're done or whatever the conversation is, and they're like, well, why? No, there's nothing to really talk about. At that point, you're gaslighting me. And you're trying to have this conversation to kind of string something along. Yep. And it's easier for me to let go of someone who I consider a friend. I think betrayal as a friendship is kind of worse than almost a relationship sometimes. I feel like we tell our friends everything more than we sometimes tell our persons because sometimes we want to kind of remain perfect for our person for some instance. And a friend, we can kind of give that stuff up. So I feel like for people that do that shit, who betray you, it's like, you're betraying me on the deepest level because I told you a lot of shit that you can go spread and tell other people. And I think it's fucked up for you to do, I'm not saying just to give it up like that, as if like, if I let you in my home or I broke bread with you or I put you in a position that you were in a better position before, or I supported you in a dark time, or I kept your secrets.
Yeah, you shitted on me.
Yeah. So I just cut people off. I don't really have to communicate with you.
What about you, Phil?
I get so caught up in the day-to-day life, I will forget about it.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. I'll just, because the stresses in my life, if you wrong me, right, I'll go on that avenue where I'll just kind of ghost you for a little bit, but then I'll just literally just be focused on something completely else. It'll be out of my mind. I don't let it.
Yeah, that's what happens.
No more real estate in here.
Yeah.
If you did something wrong, you know what you did wrong. Okay, if you want to come back and talk to me about it, we can talk about it then, but I'm not going to actively seek you out and say, you did this to me, you made me feel this way, now I'm angry at you, and then now we're not going to talk to each other. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, and then I'm done.
Do you so if they come back around, is there like a way to rebuild after that betrayal? Or it's just like, nah, that's it. It's cold turkey. Like you're done.
People can redeem themselves, because sometimes people genuinely do fuck up. I mean, I've fucked up plenty of times, but depending on the sincerity of their apology or their, what they actually want to redeem on, but you gotta have your guard up still, especially the type of hurt they did to you, because there's levels to that. If it caused you, if it caused you physical pain, that's a different story. That's different. You know what I'm saying? But if it's something that's deeply emotional, that betrayal happened, sometimes those aren't forgivable. Depending on the level, depending on the situation. But if the person is a big enough person to come to you and speak their heart out or try to get your relationship better, I would hear them out. Absolutely.
See, for me personally, I would just leave it alone, but I would pay attention to their moves after the betrayal to see, like, let's see how you really are. Like, are you really feeling remorse, or are you going to keep continuing? Like, are you going to double down on your bullshit pretty much? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but I think that's like the first step that people do when there's a real confrontation is that they double down on their bullshit. And that's why you need to split. Because they need to realize that, they have like the 7 stages of grief.
Yeah.
We need to make some of those like the 7 stages of breaking up or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because people are going to be angry right at first, and then they're going to denial, and then they're going to accuse you. You know what I'm saying? There's all different steps that they need to go through before they can heal. Yeah. Before they can come back to you, which is why I agree with Trey saying, hey, let me just distance myself, focus on my life. You fucked up. Yeah, you hurt me, whatever. It's fine, but I'm going to continue doing what I need to do. You need to focus on yourself and figure out, A, why you did it, B, why you denied it or, fought me on it, or why you, decide to not fix it right away, because people's egos are huge these days.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
I can't. My thing is, I don't believe in forgiveness for a friend unless you immediately initiate. You immediately take accountability and you ask for forgiveness. If you have taken days, weeks, and not have apologized, whatever the situation may be, you've already overstepped it. Just because I'm going to say it's because you're my friend. Mm-hmm. You already know that you fucked up. So,
but they don't though.
They do. I don't.
If you're a true friend,
if you're a true friend, you know that person. There's times that example on the pod where we had Deja here, we were talking about our attachment styles. Immediately, when I realized what my dismissive style was, and when he was talking, and I started laughing, I immediately stopped myself and said, oh, bro, I should stop. I should let you finish what you were saying.
But that's because you're aware.
Right. You, as friends, if you're a best friend, you know a lot about your best friend. That's someone that you're close to. You're aware of what's going on. You know what's going on. So when you make those decisions, you know you hurt that person's feelings. And the only reason you're not trying to initiate is because you're hoping that they forget about it and things go back to normal. You're hoping that you don't get held accountable for what your decisions are because you're scared of accountability. And for me, if you can't be an accountable person, you can't be my friend. Because I hold myself to a certain standard. I hold myself accountable when I fuck up. Because I'm not perfect. I fuck up. But at least I admit it. I ask for forgiveness. I keep it pushing. If you can't stand up and take that accountability, then we can't be friends. There's no point for having you in my life because that's letting me know that if you fuck up again, we're going to be in the same rotation where you're constantly fucking up and I'm constantly forgiving you. You're not taking accountability for your actions. And that's not a friend I want in my circle.
Agreed. No, I'm with you on that. Accountability is huge, especially in a business sense too.
Yeah.
Like, people don't want to take accountability for the things that they do that are wrong. Because the reason why I was disagreeing with you for a little bit is because people don't realize who they are yet. Even though we're in our 30s, people still don't know who they are. Like, at the core. I'm going to say, for me, it was 2019. I forgot how old I was back then, but that's who I really realized who I was. You know, I had my dream job at 25, and I was like, I'm set for life, you know? And then that was when it was gone.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? And so I think a lot of people haven't had that aha moment yet in their life to where they realize who they are. Like you caught yourself. But some people don't even realize that. They don't even think that way because their ego is so fragile, but they don't even realize that they even have an ego.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's like, there's like relationships. I'm not dating someone who, for instance, my boundary is if you haven't gone and got therapy and did the work, I don't want to be with you. I treat my friendships the exact same way. If you haven't figured out who you are, I'm not here to make you figure out who you are. That's not my job.
It's not your responsibility.
It's not our responsibility. That's your responsibility. That's your journey, your personal. So it's not my job to do that. It's my job to make sure in myself that I make sure my journey goes the right way. And if the people in my life around me who need help or they take care of something in their journey, I can help them out. But if you're someone who doesn't even know who you are or you're going through this, I'm not helping you find out who you are. I'm not helping a girl find out who she is. That's between you and what your journey is and what you got going on for your life. So I treat my friendships the exact same way. Like I'm not here to build you up and teach you to be you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something you got to figure out with you and whoever you serve, wherever God you praise or lack of God that you praise.
As an empath, that's got to be heavy because your soul wants to do that, though.
Yeah, exactly. You want to help people, but at the end of the day, you realize, and this is why I went to therapy for, because I did therapy after COVID, well, during COVID, is that you realize that you can't save everybody and you can't help everybody. And when you do that, you stress yourself out. And I realized that I was killing myself and stressing myself out, not only at work, but in my personal life. So I refuse to overextend myself for people who aren't going to overextend for themselves. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I feel you there. Yeah, you agree?
I agree. I was listening. Listen, I was a fly on the wall for a second.
Yeah.
Last question before we head out of here. I wrote this question down, and I was going to change it, but I think it still fits the episode.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Go ahead.
All right. How do you handle a fake friend who basically tries to cause you harm? And I'm not talking like emotionally, physically, financially. Like, how do you deal with a friend like that?
Punch him in the mouth.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, if it's physical.
Okay.
Bro, if you try to throw hands with me, bro, I'm knocking you out.
Yeah.
Why am I throwing hands with you?
You said if a friend tries to do you harm.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Physically.
I literally just said that. You're
I'm
right.
letting you know that you completely, just like in a relationship with a girl, you have completely crossed, if your girl tries to put hands on you.
Oh, okay. I was like,
you have completely crossed the boundary.
Yeah.
I'm not hitting you or touching you that way.
Yeah.
You cross the boundary.
It's no coming back.
It's a wrap.
There's no coming back.
It's a wrap. There's no coming back from that. At that point, it's done. And there's nothing for us to even talk about for real. At this point, a mature person is, you know what I'm saying, file police reports, what's this, restraining order, all that. That's a mature person.
Yeah.
You know, the nigga in me, you know what I'm saying, is a whole different person. I handle that shit myself. Yep. But Yeah, no, it's a wrap after that. There's nothing to talk about, especially if I told you. And then on an emotional side, which could almost be worse, because I've divulged everything to you. You know what my weaknesses are, and you're exploiting them.
Yeah, or you try to throw it back in my face.
Yeah.
I used to have this joke. There are 3 things that you don't mess with me on. It's the 3 Fs. It was food. Don't mess with my food. Don't mess with my finances, and don't mess with my family. Right? Those are the 3 things you don't fuck with. Right? And obviously, food was just a joke.
Yeah.
But like if someone
Fupa.
Oh yeah, fupa. if someone does harm, whether it's unintentional or intentional, you're going to hear about it from me.
Yeah.
Right? If it's intentional, you're definitely going to hear about it from me. And if you're doing it to cause bodily harm or to fuck with my family, it's on, dude. Like I am a nice teddy bear, but I also am a bear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I have no problem with squabbling up with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I will use all 300 of my pounds to fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? So if I have to, but I don't like to fight.
Yeah.
I'm a Cancer. I'm a sensitive person. So I don't want to fight. But if I have to, and even if it's a friend, you know, if you mess with my finances, which is my business and anything that I put my heart and soul to for the past 30 years of my life, you know what I'm saying? Those are fighting words.
Yeah.
Or if you mess with my family, who I'm literally working myself to death for, you getting fucked up too.
Yeah.
So don't mess with those things, and then you get nice, Phil.
I literally got somebody who's done 2 out of those 3. And
Food. They messed your food up. What happened?
not the food. Family and finances. Well, they try to mess up my finances, but you know, hey, my God don't play about me.
You posted that, didn't you?
Yeah, my God don't play about me, bro. But on the family side of it, it depends on the family member for me, and not on some like I don't love my family all the same way. It's certain family members I know can't defend themselves, whether it be vocally, physically, like they can't really defend themselves. And I got other family members like my big brother Dro. I don't ever have to worry about Dro. Somebody does Dro wrong,
He gonna take care of it.
he gonna take care of it before I even hear about it. I'll hear about it 2 days later, like, you heard what Dro did, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, for real, he did that? I'll call him like, yo, what did you do with the... And he'll be like, yo, this is what happened. I'm like, oh, okay, bet. Okay, cool. But if it's other family members like my nieces and nephews, of course, my son, like, I'll die for that.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna do anything to put somebody I truly care about in harm's way. Even with friends. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If I have a friend,
friends, yeah,
if I have a friend that tries to do wrong to another friend, whether that's literally financially, emotionally, physically, I'm gonna figure out what the hell happened, and then I'm gonna take a side.
So what about if, let's say, I'm just using you as an example, so don't take it personally. What if you guys are out and you did something, but you're in the wrong, and he's about to fight? You gonna help him out?
Yeah, I'm helping him out.
Even though he was wrong.
Yeah, I'm helping him out. But then when we get in the car, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
All right, that's a good friend.
I would say this, right? And
Like after the fact, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna curse Trey out.
Yeah, I know we're in the friends portion about this, and I'm like I said, I'm not gonna go deep into the conversation, but I'm gonna bring it up at least a little bit because I'm not gonna fake it. And you know, we did have a friend that did go through something recently.
Oh yeah.
And in my head and in my heart, you know what I'm saying, that shit is fucked up. And to me, when you're a friend of someone, because one of the people that affected him was a friend. You're supposed to have that person's back when they support you and they've been behind you the whole entire time.
And it got you to where you at.
Got you where you at, and just being supportive and everything. And so it's in my head, in this situation, I'm not going to go too deep into it because I said I wasn't going to. But in my head, I look at certain people in the situation, and I look at other people that, you know, because the other person blocked both me and Jay. I look at the other person and I say, like, the reason I'm not doing what I'm doing is because I have character and I'm not going to do what I'm going to do. And the morality and the character that I have won't let me stoop low to the person who's said things about him, said things about me, said things about multiple of our friends and everything else. But what I will say is that all this situation does, and what I think is done great for our other friend, is open your eyes so you can't trust everybody and pull everyone into your circle. You got to pay attention to who you're putting around you, who you're surrounding yourself with, because some people will flip and they will only call on you when they need something from you. And that's when I go back to saying either someone's a leech or they're beneficial to you. And so in this situation, there's been a lot of leeching, a lot of people turn their backs and turn their heads on people. And that's something for me, like when I care about my friends, that's something that you don't do, is hurt my friends' feelings. And that's something that I will personally, if I was in that situation, would turn up on. Here, I'm not doing it. But if it was me actively, I know if he was there actively, or if any of us were actively, shit would be handled in order, because I don't tolerate people treating my friends like they're just some bullshit or some sign on the wall, like they ain't good people. So
can I piggyback off of that real quick?
Me too.
Before you go, one thing is too, when it comes to friendships, I watch how my friends treat their other friends. I always watch how you treat other people. Well, especially people that you tell me that you claim as a friend or a close confidant. I watch how you treat them, because then I know what's coming down the pipeline for me. Whether that's like if you treat them good, do you treat them like shit, whatever the case is, and I know how to move with you.
Right.
The same person that he's talking about has certain people that's taken their side, more or less, right?
Yeah.
And they treat our friend like that person's nothing. But then the next day it's like, hey, you want to go do this? It's like, bro, what the fuck did you just do to her yesterday, or this person yesterday? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what would you do if, because we talked about redemption too. That person, let's say that person that has wronged you guys is going through a existential crisis that they are learning from, or they are growing from, and they came back to you and said they wanted to, let's say, apologize.
It's too late.
They wanted to.
For that person, it's too late.
Well, two things.
Okay.
One, it's different if it's a whole different person and you've made your one mistake that you talked about.
But no.
Two, this situation, we're going to speak specifically to this, is different because you're not just fucking up one person, you're fucking up multiple people, and it's not just us hearing it, it's people in Orlando hearing it. So that means that your character around every other person that you're around knows you to be that person, which means I don't need your redemption. I don't need you to be around me. I don't need you to forget. Whatever you're going through, you've burned that bridge. And maybe you can restart in another group of friends or another group of that, but you won't start it here. And don't get twisted. Do I forgive people? God forgives me.
I don't. Fuck
You
that.
don't. God forgives me.
Fuck that.
So you're forgiven, but it's not forgotten. So at the end of the day, you're not going to come around me. But in my heart and my soul, me trying to be the best, and I know not everyone's like religious or believes in it. I try to be the best, as close as I can to be as Christ as possible. Even though it pisses me off sometimes. Even Jesus was pissed off and tore down the temple. You have the right to be angry and feel things and be human. But at the end of the day, I do forgive people who do stuff, but that doesn't mean you got to be around me. And so when people show themselves for who they are, I don't care what kind of hurt you're going through. When I'm hurt, when he's hurt, when people are hurt, that means you got to hurt other people. So that don't got nothing to do with me. At that point, like I said, you got to figure that stuff out. And, you've already burnt that bridge, and you got to live the life that you chose.
So unforgivable.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm at the point in my life now where, like you said at the beginning of the episode, I don't really need new friends. Like, I'm good now. Like, if I do make new friends, people who are genuine, people who are genuinely caring, people who just want to do better for themselves, their family, and don't really seek out, I guess, outside validation, in the sense of, like, Trey's not doing something out of pocket just to get clicks and likes.
No.
I'm not doing something out of pocket to get clicks and likes. We just had the Stephs on. We just had Miriam on a couple weeks ago. We're not doing all that shit to get clicks and likes.
We had a fucking therapist on. Like,
Yeah, we had a therapist on.
We're
We're not
trying to have
doing shit
genuine
to
conversations.
We're not doing shit to get clicks and likes. If you're just a person that just, hey man, this is my money, this is my business, this is who I love, this is who I take care of, this is what I want to do, blah 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 blah, then there's nothing to worry about, really. But some people obviously aren't like that, and it is what it is. Like, that's the world that we live in. Like, especially society today, like that's the world we live in. It's just you gotta learn how to maneuver.
Yeah.
Like the way I look at making friends is, as stupid as this may fucking sound, this comparison. You ever watch the music video for Billie Jean?
Yeah, but I don't remember it right off the top of my head. But
When Michael Jackson's like walking on the tiles and they light up? Yeah, like I'm looking for people who literally light up like that.
Nice.
That's the type of friends I'm looking for. People who light up like that. Every time I take a step with them, it's
Love it.
It's something love. Like it's love.
Love it.
Yeah. Anything you want to say before we head out?
No.
Anything you want to say before we head out?
I think everybody needs to do a friend audit.
Just
Just take a look at your life.
You got one of those done recently.
Just
You
take
already
a look
did
at
that.
your
We've already
life
been on
and
it.
see what value people are bringing to it, and maybe take a look at yourself too and see what value you're also bringing to people. Like Trey said, don't be a leech. Also, if you want to do a podcast, hit me up.
Facts.
Yes, please hit up the podcast Dr. Phil in Orlando, Florida. There's other people who claim to be podcast doctors there.
Yeah, wait, what happened? You can tell that story. What happened?
Oh, I haven't emailed them back. They emailed the Fupas and Flapjacks podcast.
What do they want?
They just wanted to help us with our SEOs on YouTube, and I was like, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Email them back and say, I already work with a guy named the podcast doctor.
But they call themselves the podcast doctors, and I was like,
Interesting.
It's
I
not
have that
given.
trademark. So
But in my head, I was kind of like, if you want to help us out on our show,
you should have.
that means you should have listened to the show and know that we have a guy named the podcast doctor already.
They didn't.
Yeah.
No.
They didn't. They just
Interesting.
just mass emailed. Yeah.
Oh well.
You have something to say?
I really don't. I just want to say to people out there, man, and this is not specific to anybody or any person or anything. At a certain point in time in your life, you have to look in the mirror and understand who you are and what you want to do with your life. Don't allow people to be anchors on your life. Don't allow people to keep you stagnant. Don't allow people to hold you back. I know that's something cliche and corny that everyone has said a million times, but it's very true. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be a coworker, whatever the case is. Don't allow people to hold you back from what you really want to do in life. I would just say that.
Okay.
I would genuinely just say that.
Dope. Love it.
Anyways, y'all. Oh, wait. Would you rather? Okay.
Okay.
I got a quick one. Off the top of my head, I
let's
just thought about it
go.
right now.
Let's
I was
go.
about to,
All right.
I was about to type it down so I don't forget.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
We're going to play a Would You Rather. We do this with our guests from now. But basically, okay, I got one Would You Rather. I'm trying to think. Oh, boom. All right. For a superpower, right?
Okay.
Would you rather have super speed, right? But everybody else around you can't understand you because you're always thinking or talking too fast?
That's already what I do right now.
Or
Dude, that's just ADHD.
or would you have super strength, but the only problem is every time you open a door, you break a door?
Super strength.
Super strange.
That niggas breaking doors left and right?
Yeah.
Just wouldn't have doors.
I already talk fast now.
Nah, I'd rather have super speed.
What would be your superpower though, if you could pick any one of them? Because this also tells a lot about your character.
Invincibility.
You just invulnerable to stuff.
Yeah,
It's just-
I don't want to feel pain or any of that shit.
There's a difference between not feeling pain and getting hurt.
I mean, like I don't want to, kind of like Luke Cage. I get shot and it just bounces off me.
like
Somebody tries to stab me, my skin is impenetrable.
Okay. All right.
I like to read minds.
Yeah.
I can't read a mind.
I'd have the power of persuasion. I'd be bad.
I couldn't read a mind.
No,
would
I
love
don't
to
want to
read
read
minds.
minds.
Persuasion, I already got that. I
I
have
did
Haitian. I got that. I got that in the tuck already. I got that in the
I
tuck.
have the power of persuasion. Just
Got that in the tuck.
tell you do something, you do it.
Read minds, I couldn't do that.
I would love to read minds because I feel like I could. I have a.
You want to read minds just so when you walk through a crowd of bad bitches, you know which one is trying to shoot they shot at you. That's that. I know you. I know your steez, bro.
No,
I know your
like to read
steez,
minds
bro.
because I feel like I think people in general can be condescending and fake sometimes. I like to just know who's real and who's not. Like, if you're giving me a compliment, is it a real, true compliment, or just saying shit to read a script?
But
Or
Read out the
whatever?
poker
would you be
face.
able to
Yeah.
zone in though, right? Because if you be able to read everybody's mind, that'd be overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to zone in mentally on one person, but I just like to read minds, kind of like more just to see like what's truly on your thought processing. What's the truth?
I think you'd be disappointed
I think I probably would be too,
because
I have such a deep.
I don't think people think it will be thinking at that level. I think you'd be
Yeah.
scanning people just like do.
Yeah, that'd be very disappointing.
Walking down the street like, man, did I wash my ass correctly today?
Right?
And
That's
it's like, bro,
crazy.
what the hell am I reading?
Someone's just like bing bop boom book bing bop bow. Like,
That's insane.
nobody thinks anything.
All right, y'all. This has been another episode of Fupas and Flapjacks podcast here on the DeRoja Media Network. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you're looking for a studio to record your podcast at, please visit the podcast Dr. Phil here in Orlando, Florida. We record at a studio all the time. That's the only studio we record at. to the other studios in Orlando to keep DMing me, please stop. I'm not going. Leave me alone. Trey, anything you want to say before I sign out?
No, this is great. My name's Trey.
Phil?
My name is Phil, and I have a fupa.
My name is Jay. This has been another great episode. Thank you guys so much for listening in, yo.
Peace.
Put it on me, baby, put it on me. Put it on me, baby, put it on me. I just wanna see you on me. I just wanna see you on me. Put it on me, baby, put it on me. Put it